Welcome back to the Same Old Arsenal podcast. We're delighted that you've come back to see us. First of all, before we start, apologies about, was it Sunday night we were supposed to do the podcast? I think it was Sunday night. That didn't happen. And then yesterday we were supposed to do it. I had a freak out. So Lee kindly agreed to take over. And then, of course, about 8:30, Lee had a power cut. So that is why we weren't here last night. So, but we're here tonight, live on YouTube and of course live on Periscope on Twitter. People coming in already. Dan on Periscope. Hello, Dan. How are you, sir? And is that Sheflick on YouTube? Hello to you too. Introducing tonight's guests. Joining us again for the second time. Very pleased to have him back. Is Arsenal fan and X Factor legend, Andy Abrahams. How are you, sir?
All good. All good, yeah, all good. I'm happy about the result, obviously. Although I was having a little whinge to you, Craig, earlier on regarding Mustafi's nervous control of the ball, which Balassi nearly got hold of. And that would have really annoyed me. But, yeah, I mean, Mickey looks great. He looks fantastic. Aubameyang looks sharp. He reminds me more of I thought Lacazette reminded me more of Ian Wright, but
Aubameyang?
Aubameyang reminds me, he's got a little bit of the Henry and a little bit of Ian.
Bit of Henry for me, mate.
There's a combination of two, you know.
What a player. A combination of Ian Wright and Thierry Henry.
Yeah, that's not bad, eh? That's not bad.
No.
And I thought Ramsey did fantastic, I thought.
Ramsey
got into those little pockets. Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. And he needed somebody, someone like Mkhitaryan to pick him out. You know, someone who's all about assists. You know, when... I think his reputation, it just goes to show, for me, it goes to show that Mourinho didn't know, wanted to try and change him into a more of a rigid football player as opposed to somebody that's
more fluid.
Well,
we've seen how he ruined Kevin De Bruyne and how he ruined Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian Messi, of course, at it again, you know, against the Spuds. Another legend, another fellow I love to have on this show, and that is Colin from MutchArsenal. How are you, my favourite Scotsman? How are you?
I'm alright, Craig. I'm alright. I mean, I'm happy that Chelsea lost 4-1. That brought a smile to my face.
Yeah, it was very nice, I gotta say.
Not for, Conte, I just hate Chelsea in general. But as far as the weekend is concerned... Good performance, however, it is just one game. Xhaka's still pissing me off.
Don't hold back.
He can't start against Tottenham. He can't.
He will.
He will, Lee. Yeah, I know he will, but he can't, because if he does, we'll get mullered.
No,
I don't know. Save it. I haven't introduced the judge yet. Let's save it. And of course, a man who needs no introduction, my Laurel to my Hardy, my Morecambe to my Wise, my
your yin to your yang.
My yin to my yang. It's Lee Judges minus the 2 earrings. Hi, sir!
Yeah. Hey! We've got to smile at Colin. What more can you say? Our work is done. So,
absolutely.
Loads of it. Not getting a smile out of me. That was freaking hilarious, bro.
I'm all good, and I can tell you why I'm all good. Because this time last week, around about an hour, we had just lost to Swansea. It was pouring down the rain. Driving home there, it was all doom and gloom. My God, we're going to get stuffed by Spurs. We're going to lose to Everton. Then we have the window the last day of bringing in Aubameyang. And even today, I've just driving about. I still can't I really can't like.
It's a massive signing, mate.
It's massive. It is really a massive sign. And now, a week later, I'm looking forward to going to Wembley. I'm not saying that we're going to win, but with a renewed confidence. I'm a little bit more confident than what I was this time last week, and that's down to what's happened in the transfer window, and also what I see on Saturday, boys. That first half, I know it's Everton, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And we have played Newcastle this season. It was the most boringest game I've ever seen because we couldn't break them down. Do you remember Mesut Ozil got that wonder goal? Other than that, we didn't break them down, and it was could have actually drawn the game. But we took on Everton on Saturday and we destroyed them, you know, and it was fantastic to see. Boys, I've got to say this. Everybody I was with, I was in the pub in Edinburgh up there in Colin territory, and everybody walked out the pub turning around at the Arsenal boys, disappointed it was only 5. You know what I mean? Before the game, that we was all saying we'd take a 1-0 win. You know what I mean? And we're disappointed that we scored 5 goals. Fantastic performance. Let's roll on now to Saturday. Don't know how you boys feel about this, but the two results on Sunday and Monday, I think were good for us. You know, the draw for Spurs meant that Spurs and Liverpool dropped 2 points. Chelsea dropped 3. If we win on Saturday,
we're 2 points off. If we win on Saturday, we're 2 points off 4th.
We're back in the charts of top 4.
I know a lot of people say top 4. Yeah, you know, it's been our holy grail for God knows how long. But considering the start, you know, considering our league performance this year, out of the Champions League, obviously this year in the Europa League, if we beat Spurs, if we beat Tottenham on Saturday, I truly believe that this will be the kick on, and that we will finish in the top 4. I truly believe that. It happens every year. If you go back through the years, there's always a game that changes our fortunes, if you like. It changes our luck after we win a game, after like Spurs or beating Manchester United or beating Chelsea. We always seem to go on a good run. We beat Spurs. We're 2 points off them. It can be done. Absolutely can be done. Without winning the Europa League. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to win the Europa League. Anyone that tells me, as an Arsenal fan, they don't want to win the Europa League, you might as well go and support someone else. At the end of the day, it's a European trophy. It's there to be won. Who are we to moan at lifting a European trophy? Do you know?
Oh, I want to win it.
Absolutely. God. Let's start with Andy. Let's start. I don't suppose there's really much point talking about the Swansea game. It was rubbish. We lost. End of story. Andy, I want to ask you a question that keeps coming up on Twitter and that keeps coming up in the media.
Yeah.
All these people saying that Wenger ball is back. Because now people are going to have a go at me there now. Oh, you're going over the top. It's only one game. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Watching Arsenal at the weekend was like watching Arsenal when we played Wenger ball. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that Alexis Sanchez leaving has lifted weights off of all shoulders?
But also, yes, I do. But also, I think it's given those guys a sense of collectiveness, a new collectiveness where one guy, they all knew that one guy was the main man, okay? But they all and don't want to be at the club and don't want to play with those boys. So within themselves, and especially the way actions on the pitch were very much, I felt that it was very much for himself. He was playing for himself. He was trying to do so much for himself, you know, because I looked at the difference between what he's been doing for Man United to what he's been doing with us guys, okay, and, you know, he's a lot quicker with releasing the ball. He's a lot quicker with just general play, as opposed to he wants to take, even if it's by our area, he would prefer to hold on to the ball and try and play the most difficult pass, as opposed to playing a simple pass, you know. And that's what I've noticed, the difference in the last 6 months of to what he's doing now, you know. And for me, you know, I lost all interest in Sanchez quite a while ago, at the beginning of the season, definitely. For me, Sanchez, I always said, if anybody's that unhappy at being at Arsenal, regardless of where we are or what the board or what the owners have in store for Arsenal, if you don't want to be at Arsenal, basically, you know,
good luck.
Do one.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Let's get a whole load of money. Another. I don't know, that 60 million we could have got for Sanchez, we may have got Lamar. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it was done early enough. So, I just think the fact that these two guys have, I've forgotten their names now.
Mkhitaryan,
the two guys that have come in.
Aubameyang.
No.
Sorry.
Two guys on.
Do you know what? I can't put Colin. Who's the new scout? I cannot pronounce his name. Can you?
Mittelstadt or something, isn't it?
Yes.
Sven Mislintat.
That's it.
And the guy from Barcelona, I think how you say it is a Raul Sahili or something. I don't know. I've
them two anyway.
That, but
them two.
Okay,
yeah.
Well.
You've done well there, Colin. I'm impressed.
Hopefully, Craig, you know that you're right, that there is a change in attitude, and they are seeing Arsenal as, at least those two guys will be seeing Arsenal as a team that should be in the Champions League, and they're working towards getting those players that will keep us in there year in, year out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And regardless of, don't get me wrong, there's very talented youngsters, okay? But at the same time, let's get Champions League, you know, on a regular basis, and then we can afford to have the youngsters coming through a lot more. Do you know what I mean? But they've got to be up to a very, very, very high standard. I think our standards have dropped in that respect. I think it's more about sentimentality, and, you know, sometimes finger, you know, spites his nose to cut off his face. Do you know what I mean? And I just think just way too much loyalty for players that have let him down for so long.
Absolutely.
Just way too much.
This transfer window has seen us, I don't know, is this the best transfer window I've ever seen? Supporting Arsenal. Not just for the ins, but the outs. There was a lot of outs. And I said on Twitter, that I got quite a bit of reaction to, was that this was a very un-Wenger-like transfer window. Colin, the players that have come in, Mkhitaryan, Lacazette, okay, we know that Sven, the new scout, was obviously very, what's the word I'm looking for? Instrumental, thank you, Lee.
Yeah.
No problem.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I chose you as co-host, mate. Super. Instrumental in getting these two players to Arsenal. You know, no one can deny that. It's been a bloody good transfer window, in my opinion. Going back to the Wenger ball thing, what's your opinion on Saturday's performance? Okay, I get the point. People are telling me in the comment box. I get the point that it's only one game. You know, Sanchez was gone against Swansea, and we still lost that game. Great points by all. But what I saw at the weekend, Colin, I don't know about you, but I am bloody excited.
I'm not saying the ends aren't good, because they are. They are. I'm not denying that at all. The finish from Aubameyang was absolutely filthy, but at the same time, it was absolutely outstanding. It's just one of them. As far as Wenger ball, for me, that's bullshit.
I thought it might be. Carry on.
I don't care what. That's the biggest myth going, mate. Simple as that. But the window, I'd say it was okay. I'm not going to say it was great. And the reason why I'm saying it's okay is because while the ins are good, we didn't really address the key issue.
Yeah.
Going forward, we're all right. All right, we've never had a problem going forward, especially recently. But defensively, we're a shambles. I mean, come on. Lee made the point on Sunday. Why are our two centre-halves put in the position where they have to put in rash challenges and get yellow cards for it? Why? We don't have a defensive midfielder. That's why I think selling Coquelin was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because if we were going to get rid of Coquelin, what we should have done is kept him for the remainder of the season, played him if we had to, and then got rid of him in the summer and bought a replacement.
That was very strange, Colin.
Yeah. It's a good point, Colin. Very good point.
Exactly.
That was very strange.
Because we didn't do that, we've got no defensive-minded midfielder at the club currently. Now, when you play the big guns, i.e. your Man Cities, your Man Uniteds, your Liverpools, you need a defensive-minded player in the midfield. Have we got one? No. So that's why it was a mistake. And not to mention the fact that, in terms of centre-backs, the only one that can read a game, from my opinion, is Monreal. That's it. Mustafi can't read a game. Got an Achilles problem. Why we've not addressed that yet, I have no idea. Should have done that in the summer. Rob Holding is a young kid. Never gets a goal. Don't know why, but that's another topic for another day. It is what not to mention the fact we don't have any other player that can play right back or right wing back in some cases other than Bellerin.
What would you say?
He gets injured, what then?
Colin, what would you say if on tomorrow afternoon it's announced that Arsene Wenger's re-signed Alex Song? How would you feel? Seriously, let's forget about what we're all screaming out for a defensive-minded player.
Yeah.
We've got one there who is free agent.
It wouldn't surprise me, Craig.
It wouldn't surprise me either. It's very Arsene Wenger, but
the thing is, though, Craig, that's...
Look, I know, mate, as much as you do, it's a quick fix. But what I'm asking...
That's not a...
No.
Right there, it's not. It's a short term...
But for the rest of the season...
No.
Listen, mate, if we were going to get Alex Song as a quick fix, I would have preferred that we kept Coquelin.
What would you say, Lee? Sorry, Colin, question. What would you say, Lee? If we woke up tomorrow morning and Alex Song has signed a contract with the club for the next 6 months, eligible to play on Saturday?
Not for me. Not for me. I'll be honest. I'd rather see Maitland-Niles given a go at it, and I think that's what Wenger's looking at. I think he's opened it up a little bit for that. He's played left back. He's not a left back. Come on, he's not a left back, but he's defensively. I think put him in there. Do you remember when?
But let's sorry now, Lee, just cut you off there. Let's Maitland-Niles is not a defensive midfielder.
Well, if you let me finish,
he can do it, Craig. He can do it. I've seen him do it.
the one where I look at it. Do you remember when Flamini went in to play there at left back?
1 second there now. Someone's echoing big time. Who's that? That's all right. No problem. Sorry, Lee. Go on.
You remember he put Flamini in at left back? Do you remember in the Championship, Champions League campaign? And then he went into the midfield role, and I think that he's looking to do that with Maitland Miles. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think that at the end of it, the boy can play, but we've got to. As Colin just said, we haven't got no one else other than him, and I think that's what Wenger is looking to do. Come on, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how old Song is now. I think, it's not for me. I think that we're better than that, and it does seem, if I'll be honest, a little bit of I don't know. If you say we're going to get rid of Coquelin and then we're going to replace him with a free agent called like Song, I just don't see it being the right thing to do. I think that you've got to give Maitland Miles a chance. I think he's done fairly well at left back when he's fitted in there. I also think that probably if anything did happen to Bellerin, that maybe he'd go over to the right side of it. I think that would be the cover that he's got, and I think that he does want to try and use him and utilise him in some sort of way. But I'm with Colin on this, and I think Andy agrees as well. The transfer window was listen, it was okay. The reason we're all going mad about it is because in January it's just January. I mean, we just don't do nothing. It's just that now we've bought Aubameyang, which is a fantastic signing, but I still think there are other issues there. We went for Johnny Evans. There's no two ways about it. We did, but we didn't. Alan Pardew said so himself, but it wasn't enough money. And I understand that. Why buy him for 20 million when you can probably buy him for free in 3 months' time? The maths didn't work out for that one, and I agree with that one. But I ultimately think that if they're not going to go with Holding and Chambers, then I think Holding needs to go out on a year's loan somewhere next season, and Chambers they'll have to sell because there's not giving them a chance, and bring in 2 new central defenders next season. That's what they're going to have to do. But
what about this Greek kid, Lee?
Well, again,
he's highly rated.
I've watched him twice now playing for the under-23s. Yeah, okay, good. It's not what you call full competitive football, but he looks all right, mate. He certainly does. He's very strong. He's got a lovely touch. He likes to get his foot on the ball and have a look around. Do you know what I mean? He's one who he doesn't panic. I think. Well, it's a bit more of him next year, I think.
Well, I think we all agree that Eddie Nketiah is highly rated.
The hat trick last night.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got a great future in front of him, but it's another situation, isn't it? I mean, would you class him as third choice striker?
Well, I think probably fourth when Welbeck comes up. I think he'll probably be the fourth. But you need 4 strikers. You know what I mean? I think that we do. And obviously we haven't got Aubameyang if I'm led to believe for the Europa League. So we're down with Lacazette playing, which is baffling. I think as Colin said, the forwards issue takes care of itself. I ain't got a problem with it. You know what I mean? We've got attacking midfielders. We've got midfielders that can come from deep. We've got a couple of ballers with Mkhitaryan and Ozil. So we're all right in that department. But it is our defending, and even on Saturday, there are times when I can't see why Arsenal can't just put the ball into Rose Ed, and they don't. They're trying to play little balls and they're giving it away, and it's so frustrating that Bellerin, for instance, could have on 3 occasions give the ball away to opposition in our own half because he's not going to put his foot for it. Now that's all right when you're 4-0 up or whatever, but when you're playing Man United like we did a few weeks back, and we get caught and we get beaten, and there's lessons that we still fail to pick up on, and that's my big worry. And I don't think that's personnel. I think it's I understand I want to play all the time and all that, and that's great. But it is going to come back and bite us if we don't sort that out. And I feel that the window was good for a lot of positives. Come on, I was on my knees this time last week at Swansea. I just thought I didn't know what we was going to do, and a couple of signings, and not only the signing of Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, Ozil signing as well, which was a big boost, massive boost. Get them so signed up and that, and then to put the performance in we did against Everton. Hope is being reinstalled. I have to say that. You can go on about man to do this or whatever and whatever. Arsenal on their day are still one of the best footballing sides out there. They are. What I mean?
Prove that at the weekend.
Prove that at the weekend. Yeah. And I'm going to go to Wembley feeling a little bit better and optimistic. I'm not saying that we're going to win. I've said that earlier on, but I feel optimistic. I think that, Spurs' weakness is our strength. They play a high line, and we've got players that can pick out a Aubameyang, who would have had an extra week's training. Wenger come out and said he's not quite sharp enough. Well, if we've got some more to come from this boy, then this roll on Saturday. I'm really looking for beautiful. Yeah, it's what we've been crying out for. Good question. My son said today earlier on. He go, "What do you think if we'd have as well? Would that have worked?" And I'm not so sure.
No.
I think that we've replaced Sanchez with two players, and I think that's
great business. Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm happy. I think that the way I look at it is I think that it looks like Alexis Sanchez is going to suit Manchester United, and it looks like Mkhitaryan is going to suit us. So, it's best of both worlds. He's gone from us. I don't care what anyone says. I can see this kind of relief. I might be the only one that can see it. I don't know. People call me mad. I don't know. But against Everton, people are saying he was gone against Swansea, but we also didn't have Mkhitaryan and
absolutely
Aubameyang on a home debut.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
We also didn't have Ozil. We didn't know that Ozil was going to sign a contract. It seemed to me at the weekend that everyone, like you said, Andy, everyone was together. It's like they've sat down and said, right, Mercer's saying we have Pierre here and we have Mkhitaryan here. Let's stop fucking about and put some work in. And at the weekend, that's what it looks like to me. Now, a question I want to ask you both is, or all three of you. I'll come to you first, Andy. Obviously now, Aubameyang is here. Everyone is saying that Lacazette is now second choice behind Aubameyang. This is the thing. Lacazette's finished. This, that, and the other. I tweeted out at the weekend. There is far more to come from Lacazette, and there's lots more chances for Lacazette. I mean, Aubameyang can't play in the Europa League, so Lacazette obviously is going to have to be our striker. Giroud's gone now, so Lacazette is going to have to be our striker in the Europa League. Why is it, Andy, that people can't see? We've got statistically two of Europe's deadliest strikers at Arsenal.
Absolutely. I don't understand why they can't both play together.
I'd love it.
Do you know what I mean? As a front two. Can you imagine the service?
Yeah. Mkhitaryan and Ozil. Cool.
I mean, and maybe if this, which I hope, if this Malcolm is another kid that's on the radar, supposed to be incredible, this kid, right? Really good player, right? Left-footed, quick, somebody that could maybe play on the left side, okay, along with a CDM and a centre half. I really believe that we can challenge next year, but I do believe it's not necessarily the players as such. I believe it's the coaching that's stopping us from playing the way we should be playing, because we're all over the place, and that's for me, that's to do with coaching. You know, it just seems to me that because side that we forget our defensive shape. Maybe once in every 5 or 5 to 8 games, we might have a game where we look like as if we know what we're doing. But in general, we're always all over the place, and that for me is a coaching thing, you know. But in respects of the question, in respects of the question, which I've bloody forgotten.
Lacazette and
Lacazette. I don't think he's finished. No.
No.
Not at Arsenal. And I'm sure he's quite excited at the fact that if I've got Mkhitaryan and Ozil behind me, supplying me with ammunition, then why shouldn't I be scoring as many goals as Aubameyang? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's that good.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do too. And I think to see people saying that on, just picking him up, screwing him up. Right, we've got Aubameyang now. See you later, Colin. Yeah. Colin, what's your feeling on that, mate? I saw the eye roll. I saw the Colin eye roll when I asked the question.
Mate, it's absolute nonsense. Honestly, it's absolute horseshit. Like, people saying that Lacazette is finished at Arsenal. No, you are wrong in that respect. If there's one player who's a striker by trade that's finished at Arsenal, it's Danny Welbeck. That's who you should be looking at, is who is finished. Not Lacazette. Like, people forget, this guy still has 9 goals in all competitions for us. In fact, not including Aubameyang in this, he's actually our highest scorer this season.
Yeah.
How is that him being finished exactly? I don't understand where these people get their logic from. I mean, it's one or two things. Either they're drunk or they're stoned. Because they're not using their brain. Clearly.
Yeah.
How can someone who's scored more goals for us than any other player this season be finished? Like, there's no logic to their argument at all. Like, they can say that, he's not getting the service and he's not scoring as many goals. My argument to that would be, okay, look at who is behind him for a brief while. Iwobi and Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, I guarantee you, if that was Aubameyang, he would have the exact same problem. Guarantee it. Because Iwobi and Danny Welbeck are not creating anything. We scored 2 goals with them 2 as number 10s, and one of them was a set piece. Yet people are trying to tell me that Lacazette is finished. But apparently,
not for me.
Apparently, Danny Welbeck is still a useful squad player. Are you actually having me on here? No. Danny Welbeck's finished. I don't care. The guy is useless. What does he do?
Poor old Danny.
He runs around like a fucking headless chicken.
Started him off now.
I thought that was old Nenny he was talking about.
He can't cross the fucking ball. What does he do? Can anyone explain that to me?
No. Lee, can you take over there, because I'm having to do a bit of band hammering in the old chat.
Listen, my point is on Lacazette. I think he was a little bit unlucky on Saturday, because I think that he would have come on at some stage, but with Cech getting injured, it meant that Aspina came on. it meant that we was one sub down. And I think that with about 20, 25 minutes to go, he would have come on when the game would have opened up a little bit, and he would have got the chances. What's happened with Lacazette, I think, over particularly games like Liverpool this season, he's worked his absolute nuts off, and then when the game's opened up, he's come off. So I think that, he'll come on and do that sort of side of it and be fine. And I think that, as we say, he'll get his games in the Europa League, and I think point there that he has now, when he comes into the side, he would have like a Wobie and Danny Welbeck not in the side, and it'd be Mkhitaryan and Ozil feeding him, and that will be a little bit better. I also think, look, Danny Welbeck will do a lot better now with that sort of service as well. I think that, if you think about it, he's got pace and power. I know that Colin don't agree with that, but he has got pace and power. So when you think of a game being a little bit, defenders a little bit tired, putting Danny Welbeck on to chase things down, whatever, I don't think it's a bad option to have neither, if I'll be honest. So I think from that point of view, we've got options up front now, and I do believe that Lacazette will get his chances. I also believe that Lacazette could play in that Wobie role. I really do. I've got that feeling. If I've watched him on numerous occasions this season, when he's playing up top on his own, he drifts to the left or he drifts to the right. So why not put him in that position and see how it goes? It might not work. It might. I wouldn't do it against Spurs. Wobie's got the chance. The other side of it for me is that we've got to try and get Jack Wilshere in this side, because if anybody deserves to be in the team, he deserves to be in it. So I'll be looking very much at the team sheet on Saturday. I want Ramsey. What my feelings of Aaron Ramsey is. I think he should be in the team and should be respected a lot better than what he does, because he's now going to be a very important player because of that third man running, which he does really well, what gets us in the box. But I think that if we can interchange Wilshere, Mkhitaryan, Ozil, I think that will be better. I hope nothing against the Wobie, but I want to see Jack Wilshere in this team. I want to see him signed up, because I think in a game like this against Spurs, they can be a little bit niggly, Spurs, and make those little nasty little tackles. I think Jack Wilshere's got to play on Saturday.
Yeah,
and
massive.
He stands up to it.
Got to be.
I think I want to see him get in the team. But listen, Lacazette's going to have to be patient, and I also think that Robert Perez, took fantastic player for Arsenal. It took him 6 months to a year to adapt to the Premier League. So I think that this to Lacazette and
absolutely,
and see where it goes from now.
Absolutely, Andy. Rumour has it that Aaron Ramsey. Rumour has it, and for my little man on Twitter, who tells me a few bits and pieces, 150 grand a week is going to be the new wage offered to Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah.
But the most interesting part about this rumour is, and of course it's probably just a rumour, but doesn't mean we can't discuss it, is that he's going to be handed the captaincy. How do you feel about that?
Really? Well, what do I think about that? Well, where does that leave Jack Wilshere then?
Exactly. My choice for captain of Arsenal Football Club, out of all them players in all the squads that we've got, is Jack Wilshere.
It's out of them two. It's out of them two. If I'll be honest, it's out of them two. I don't see anybody else that can be the next captain of Arsenal. I don't see it. If you go through it all, Petr Cech, he ain't going to be there for long term.
No.
Bellerin, no.
No.
Silney, no.
No.
Monreal, no, they haven't got it there. So then you go into the midfield. Ozil, no. There's only two people that can get it. So whether it is Ramsey, I wouldn't be against that if it's Ramsey and Wilshere as vice captain, or the other way round. I'll be honest.
There's no importance though, Lee. Have you noticed that over the years that the importance of the captaincy has been diluted by, and I don't know why.
No.
Considering that Arsene Wenger has worked with some of the greatest captains.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't understand why now. Probably the last since Van Persie. No, not even Van Persie. I can't even consider him to be a captain of that mould. But since maybe Fabregas, I would say. After that, it's just been.
Well, it went all wrong when he give it to Gallas.
Oh my God!
That's like a horrendous decision.
That is like a curse word to me. That man should never have been at Arsenal. Eh?
Vermaelen done okay as a captain. Not
but
great. I believe.
I think it's
why is it so diluted now? Why is it now that I'm never ever sure who's going to be captain.
I mean, what about that time Theo Walcott got the captaincy because it was his...
That's what I'm saying.
What was it? It was his birthday and it was his bloody so many thousandth game or whatever. I mean,
we're treating the captaincy like a fucking birthday gift now. Is that what it's doing?
This is it, mate. This is what I'm saying, and exactly what Andy is saying. He's being treated with a bit of disrespect. You look at the captains we've had, and obviously the two spring to mind of Adams and Vieira. I mean, could you imagine trying to give Vieira's armband to Walcott because it was his 1000th game and it was his birthday? By the way, Patrick, Theo's captain today. It's his birthday.
The fact of the reason that didn't happen though, because Vieira played every game. You know what I mean? Like, we've got a captain now at MutchArsenal that has probably hardly played, and before him it was Vermaelen hardly played. You know what I mean? Koscielny's being more captain for Arsenal than the MutchArsenal, and he's not the captain. Now get your head around that. You know what I mean? When you pick a captain, he's got to be playing week in, week out. Now maybe like they're looking at, it was. I'll go back to the team when we won. You had Keown that could have been captain. You had Lee Dixon who could be captain. Then there was Dennis Bergkamp. There was loads of them. But we're coming down to it now, and realistically, we're talking about Aaron Ramsey and Jack Wilshere, and the minuses to that is that are they guaranteed, either one of them, of completing a full season without being injured? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is a big key. Ramsey, as good as he is, will be 5 weeks down into the season. He'll get another hamstring injury, be out for 5 weeks. Jack this season has done fantastically well. He's not been injured at all since he's come back. But that is the minus that the two players have got. But there ain't nobody else, and that's a massive worry for Arsenal.
Well, I mean, they talked about Xhaka being, a captain as such. And I think he's the captain of Switzerland, isn't he?
I think he has captained them, yeah. So.
He has captained them.
Good shout, that.
So I mean, but
his eyes roll again. So don't
I know. Hey, listen,
man, I don't to fuck off with that shit. Seriously,
absolutely, I agree because his performances don't warrant it.
Well, you're looking at him as probably third choice, Andy, really, and be honest, that's where we're at.
Yeah. No. The third choice, right? It's not Xhaka. No. It's Nacho Monreal.
Yeah, Monreal, but he's 31, 32 now. We're talking long-term durability here. I think Xhaka's 24. Aaron Ramsey's 27 coming into his prime, and Jack's 26 and he coming into his prime.
If I had my way, Xhaka wouldn't be here next season. I can assure you.
Yeah.
Man, honestly, what does he offer? The guy gives the ball away more than my fucking cousin gives away wrapping paper. He's fucking useless. How many times does he give the ball away that leads to a goal?
Well, he's done that a few times.
He's done it a few times, but I'm going to stick up for Xhaka here. I think
he's done all right.
I do.
Craig, I blame you for his shit season because you jinxed it at the start.
I did. Yes, I did. First Liverpool game, the first game of the season against Liverpool, I tweeted out just before the kick-off, Xhaka, Arsenal Player of the Year incoming.
Shit. Wow.
So, yeah.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, well, it was a big statement, and how it's backfired. But there we go. Yeah, you know, that was just. I'm going to stick up for him. No, I think he's still got a lot to offer us. I really do. He's 24 years old. I like him. I do. I love his range of passing. He's done. I think he's done very well. Yes, he's made mistakes. Yes, he has. But so has everyone else.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that Xhaka is being made a scapegoat for a lot of our mistakes and for a lot of our misfortune. So, I mean, there's been goals there that we've conceded. Yes, that have been Xhaka's fault. There's been goals there that we've conceded that haven't been his fault, but the poor bloke still seems to get the blame for it.
And also his goals took us to Wembley, you know.
Absolutely. You know, people are coming into the chat there now. He's not worth 35 million. To be honest with you, going in today's market, 35 million is cheap.
Yeah,
if you ask me. You know,
I mean, you could say that about Mustafi, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
I think that is overpriced.
The chat is lit. Stephen Gilchrist says he's not worth 35 pence.
Yeah, well,
Xhaka.
Yeah,
he's a legend, man.
You got Bellerin. I mean, I wonder how many players that we've got that are overpriced. Do you know what I mean? So you got Bellerin.
Them off, really.
I think Bellerin.
Let's see. Bellerin's probably. Well, actually, no, because we bought him from Barcelona B, didn't we? So I don't think you can call him like overpriced.
Yeah, but they were putting him out for 50 million, weren't they?
Yeah, right. We wouldn't get that now.
No, 50 million. Like, if we got 50 million for Bellerin now, I'd snap.
Same with Ramsey.
Mustafi, 35 million. Nah. Let's see.
Xhaka's overpriced.
For 35 million, is Xhaka overpriced at 35 million?
Yes. Worth like 10 million, let alone 35.
24 years old, captain of his country.
If we're basing it on performances, Craig, 10 million, bruv.
10 million?
Yeah.
And a bag of juicy fruits.
Poor old Xhaka. I don't know.
If we're basing it on performances, which is what we're doing, then 10 million. You know?
I don't know.
You tell me that these performances that he's putting in are 35 million quid's worth. No.
I don't think he's overpriced. I don't think he's overpriced at all.
Oh, okay.
24 years old, captain of his country, 35.
Okay. I'll tell you what, right? Give me an argument from your point of view, right? Because I still don't understand it myself. Why is Xhaka worth 35 million to you? Because I honestly don't see it.
Well, he's worth 35 million to me with this day and age of how much people are worth. When you're talking about Virgil van Dijk, 75 million. 75 million? Are you having
I don't believe Van Dijk's worth 75 million, Craig, but you can't
but that's what I'm saying, Colin. This is today's...
You can't tell me that Xhaka, with the performances that he's putting in, is worth 35 million. If we're basing it on performances, which we are doing, he's in.
Okay, fair enough, but we paid 35 million for him. And at that time, Xhaka, 35 million was the going rate. That's how much we had to pay for him. And in today, what I'm saying is, in today's transfer fees, 35 million is not a lot.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
I don't get where you're coming from.
I see your
now,
point
yes,
there.
but I do agree with you. Yes, Colin. Perhaps his performances, some of his performances have been under par, and perhaps yes, on recent performances, perhaps he is only worth 10 million. But I still don't think. I still think that people are making him a scapegoat, Colin. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a lot of people that have made mistakes.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can see your viewpoint. But the thing is, right, all this like talk about Xhaka, I'm not going to say he hasn't been one of our worst players this season because he has, right? But there are other players in this side that are playing worse than Xhaka and have played worse than Xhaka this season that don't get called out. Pellerin, for instance.
Yeah, very true.
Like, does he get... All I see from people is, you need to work on your crossing and stuff. And I'm just like, hold on, you lay into Xhaka left and right, but you don't do the same with Bellerin. Like, Koscielny, he's been awful this season, yet people don't dig him out. Mustafi,
and no one dug out. Thing. And the other thing about it is, there's no one dug out Sanchez either.
Oh yeah, Mustafi was Sanchez was one of our worst players this season when he was here, no question. But the thing is, I think with Sanchez, people, I think they give him a bly because it's Sanchez, just because of the name. At least that's the way I look at it. People did the exact same thing for Ozil.
Yeah, I also think Aaron Ramsey gets a bad deal. He has a bad game, and there's a lot of people onto him. It's just, do you know what? It's football. There's people, the crowd favourites, and
with Ramsey, you can let off a bad performance this season because he's been class this season.
Well, but if he has a bad game, I'll see it on Twitter. Ramsey's
he gets battered. He does.
He gets bad. Yeah, he's had one bad. He's one of those players that does do things. I'll tell you, for instance, against Swansea, he makes a tackle at the far post, right, which was sublime. He put his body on the line, makes a tackle. No, nothing said. He then gives the ball away, and everybody goes, "Oh, look, he's given the ball."
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but that's that's football, and I think
I think it's also something that's in our fan base.
Of course, yeah.
It's just like you said, he could, like you said, he'll clear a ball off the line and save a certain goal, or Xhaka could do the same thing. You've said it there. Xhaka scored the winner in the semi-final. We're going to Wembley. We're in the cup final. But no, he's not good enough.
That's our fan base in a nutshell.
Honestly,
our fan base, right? As soon as we go on a winning running game, just like, we're back on track. We've got momentum with us, this and that. As soon as we lose the game, Wenger's got to go. He's the wrong man for the job.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but he is the wrong man for the job.
Our fan base flip-flops so all the time. It's annoying.
I think that most fans are like that. Those, you know what I mean? Like Spurs, like a couple of weeks ago, they're all slagging off Pochettino. They're all slagging off Sissoko as the worst player that's ever played in a Tottenham shirt. You know what I mean? But this wonderful manager in Pochettino, in sliced bread, who's played the most appearances for Tottenham this season. And it's Sissoko. You know what I mean? So I think that you get. We've all got our fun. I'd love to. I've always said this. You know what I mean? If there was Twitter and all this now that we have, in the era of Charlie Nicholas, because I love Charlie Nicholas, but did he do it every week? No, he bloody didn't. But you sort of because everybody loved him, he got away with it. You know what I mean? It did help that he scored against Spurs every time he played. But that's the sort of thing that happens. If Xhaka was to get the winner against Tottenham
on the weekend, of course.
Everybody will be, doing the Xhaka, like, you know what I mean? That's the way it is, and I hope that he does. And Aaron Ramsey scored a wonder goal against Tottenham a couple of years ago when that back flick and that nothing said. If Jack Wilshere would have done that, they'd all be talking about it to this day.
Let's talk about Spurs coming up at the weekend. Much the same, I think. I think the side, obviously, much the same. I would agree with Lee. Wilshere has to come in for me. Massive. Am I a bit worried about David Ospina? Yes. I'm a bit worried about Ospina coming in.
I'll be worried with
Czech, even though I've been Czech's biggest critic probably this year. I still think just experience-wise, Petr Cech obviously would be the better goalkeeper. But who knows? I hope David Ospina makes me eat my words. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. Absolute fantastic goalkeeper. Again, he fell to this fan base thing of when he was against, was it in the Champions League? When he caught the ball and brought it in behind the line. After that, he hasn't. And he's made some bloody good saves and all. That's what, that's what I'm talking about, Colin. Everyone remembers that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to remember about the good saves he's made, you know. Andy, confident, are you, at the weekend?
Listen, I could never ever show any weakness to Tottenham. I
like it.
Just cannot do it. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to Wembley to win.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't care if it's an open game, if it's a tight game, I don't care. As long as we come away there with a win. You know,
would you win against them away from home? You know?
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, Kane is probably the best striker in the country at the moment. But this is the time for surprises. I think Aubameyang could he could do something special. I really do.
The script is written.
I'm telling you, mate. And with Mickey supplying it again, you know, they talk how devastating them two were for Dortmund, and we got a taste of it against Everton.
We did.
Do you know what I mean? And I think if they reproduce that special connection that the two of them have got, because you know, Mickey saying, "Come and join me here," and do you know what I mean? And you know that the two of them have got great banter together, and that for me. You bring Ozil into that, right? That whole Bundesliga connection. Do you know what I mean? I think something could definitely happen.
I totally agree with you, mate, and I hope we absolutely stuff them. Colin, what do you reckon, mate? What's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling. Do you know what? For me, Tottenham are not all that. They're not.
I don't think they are either. I have to agree.
They're not. Like the way Liverpool dealt with them, them out completely. Mm. That's what we did to them at the Emirates. And how did that work out? Oh yes. we absolutely dominated them. Like
I agree with that. To be honest,
they're not. They're nothing special. And see when I hear like the media and pundits and that, you know, sucking them off. It's embarrassing, man. You know what I mean? Like,
well, actually, funny you should say that because I think one of them was getting. One of them was great time. Great time.
If our fans do nothing right, I'll be disappointed. I really will be.
Hold on, yeah, but that's a. Is that just a, you know, when they plant a head on top of
it's some... absolutely real.
Oh, that's Dele Alli, mate.
It's an old, it's not like...
From 2016, apparently.
Yeah, it's a couple of year ago, like, you know what I mean?
Apparently the story is, and I'm just saying what I heard, that Liverpool fans hacked his iCloud. That's the story on the street. Liverpool fans hacked his iCloud and got the videos. Everything that was in his iCloud, and got that video and posted it up online.
Wow!
The fellow who posted that online, I'll tell you what, mate, he's got no fear of God, has he?
Oh my word! Do you know what? And you know what would be funny if there was like I don't know, like a 10-foot poster rolled out by Arsenal fans.
Someone's got some.
I mean, oh my God!
Some of the memes I've seen this week.
You can just imagine DT doing it.
Well, so going back. What do you reckon, mate? What do you reckon?
Do you know what, mate? If we play the right side, I think we'll beat them.
I do too. I hope so.
I think we do. To be honest, for me, this game suits Aubameyang. What with it being Wembley and whatnot, it's a It's a large pitch. He'll have a field day over there.
Oh, I hope so.
He really will.
I hope so, because we all know that they like to play the high line. So, like Lee said earlier, I mean, he's just got to be standing on the shoulders there.
For me, we have to play like 3-3, I think, because I think we're going to need that extra man in midfield. Where my midfield might shock some people, Ramsey gets in there, so does Jack, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
Yeah. I like where you're going to, but I don't think it's going to happen. I like the formation, and I agree with you on the formation, but surely it will be Xhaka, Wilshere, Ramsey.
Xhaka.
Oh yeah, Xhaka's going to start 100%. I know that.
Yeah.
Why I think we've got a good chance against the I just say that my thing is, when we played them last year, when they would do like the team of mixed teams, I think like it'd have been 9 or maybe even 10 Spurs players would have got in with the team. You know what I mean? We was all saying Sanchez, you know, but this time around, I think it's more even.
Yeah.
There's certainly players that would get into it now. You know, they had Danny Rose and Walker as their fullbacks.
Please,
they would have took over our ones. They're not there no more. You know, you would put Monreal in front of Davis, Bellerin. I would put in front of Trippier. So we take 2 players there. I think their 2 centre halves would get in front of us. The goalkeeper would, but then you know. Dele Alli would have got in front of Ozil last season.
No way. Not now.
Not now he wouldn't.
He doesn't even get. Come on. He doesn't even get. He doesn't get in front of Mkhitaryan.
Out of their midfield, the only one that would get into the probably would be Eriksen now. So you know,
I'm not too sure about that one.
Eriksen.
I mean, Ozil, the way he's performing this season, over. Like, because Eriksen plays as a left winger for them, doesn't he?
But you'd have him in over Dele Alli, wouldn't you? Ozil?
I wouldn't have the pair of them in my team, mate.
You wouldn't have Mesut Ozil in over Dele Alli.
I wouldn't have Dele Alli in my team. Period.
No, I'm saying if it was a combined Arsenal, we're talking about a combined.
Do you know what? I'm of this mindset where I just can't have any Spurs players in an Arsenal team. I can't do it. I can't do it. If I had to pick one, right? If I'm like, okay, if I'm being forced to pick one, it's Alderweireld.
Yeah, you've got to have Lloris in goal. Come on, you know what I mean? Over check. You know, I've got. Harry Kane would get into it as well. You know what I mean? I've got to say that.
Harry Kane over R2. I mean, I'm not being biased or nothing.
I actually feel very dirty having this conversation.
Yeah, I just think.
Why are we here? Shower after this shit like this.
What I'm saying is, my point of it is that last season they had a lot more players that would have getting it. This time around, it's a lot more even, and I feel quite a good chance of going and beating them. Yeah. And one of my I watched the game on Sunday. I ain't got nothing disrespectful against Spurs from that point. They're a good side, you know, and they totally dominated Liverpool in the second half. But it was 1-0, and they couldn't feed. So like, what's his name? The Egyptian. How's his pronounced? Salah. They couldn't. There was about 3 or 4 times he was 1-on-1. They couldn't get the ball to him because they got Chang, Henderson trying to feed it. Now, if we can get the goal up against them, bring on Spurs, right? We have got the ammunition to get Aubameyang in, and that's where I think that, you know, if we defend properly, and this is what I say: if we defend properly, Arsenal will win this game because they will come on to us. But if we give away silly goals like we've done against Man United, forget it. We've got to get in front, and then I think we can exploit them. I really do.
Absolutely, and our second home.
Our second,
you know, as it's been for the last few years.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, listen. You know, like this time last week, you know, as I say, I was coming home from Swansea. We've got no chance of beating them. A week later, we've got a good chance, you know. So, you know, it just shows you in football what a difference a week can make. And we're in that scenario now, definitely.
I'm totally confident we're going to beat Spurs. Totally confident.
Well, I'll admit, like they was totally confident about doing it at the Emirates. They was very arrogant coming to the Emirates.
They certainly were.
And they got stuff.
Also, I think they're going to be arrogant again, Lee.
They've got a good manager.
They've got no right to be arrogant towards us at all.
No, they haven't at all. No
right.
And at this moment in time, we haven't with them, you know. And even when we was in our prime, the Invincibles and all that, like, I always give them the respect that they deserved, and I will continue to do that.
A bit of news, some more news coming from the Arsenal.com. Jack Wilshere has won goal of the month for his goal against Chelsea.
Sorry, I don't care. Sign him up. Get him signed up.
Jackie Wilshere?
I don't care.
Absolutely. Get him signed
Not
up.
the news I want to hear.
Signed the team.
Listen, he's the only person that I would consider putting a name on a shirt. Literally going to buy a shirt and putting his name on my shirt.
Because I want him signed up.
Jack Wilshere is Arsenal.
Very important.
He's the only person now that is Arsenal. The only. And I want him signed. I'll tell you what.
People are in the chat. Tell us that he's signed. Calm down. We need to relax. I don't know. Until it's official.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Until it's official. The Player of the Month competition is going on at the moment on Arsenal.com. You can go over there and vote if you want to. Your players are El Neni.
Only one.
Monreal.
Yeah, that's it.
Mercer Ozil or Jack Wilshere. They are
Monreal all day long.
They are your players that you can choose from. You can go over there and vote now.
Been amazing. Jack's been amazing. Don't get me wrong. He's been absolutely brilliant and back to his best. Right, but there's more to come from Jack. Ozil, still more to come from Ozil. But Monreal has stepped.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go Wilshere.
Yeah,
I'm going Wilshere this month.
Player of the month.
More games.
Yeah.
And
got to be Monreal, isn't it? Surely.
Well, he had a poor game at Swansea. Come on,
he did have a
poor game at Swansea. Jack was missed. Jack Wilshere is mine for this month.
All right, I won't say any more just in case he does his crossface.
No, that's it like that.
Don't like that crossface. Scares me. Lads, that will be the end of the show this week. Thank you very much indeed. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Over 200 of you are watched live. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us.
Quick question.
Go on.
What's the Aubameyang song? What's the new Aubameyang?
If there is, I haven't heard it.
Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. Something like that. The one song I'm looking forward to hearing is the new Dele Alli song. But anyway.
Wow.
Thanks very much for watching. If you're here for the first time this evening, please give us a subscription on YouTube, like the video, what's it the Americans say? Smash that like button, dude. Give us a subscription, man. All that kind of thing. If you are watching us on Periscope, hello, and thanks to everyone on Periscope who have been in the chat and commenting tonight. Follow us on Twitter, give us a retweet and all that malarkey. Go and follow Andy at Andy Abrahams Official on Twitter. Andy Abrahams Official.
Hi. How you doing?
How comes you ain't got a verified tick?
I do.
No, you don't.
Oh.
If I haven't done the can of week, you need to be getting on.
Messing about.
Yeah, you need to be getting on and sorting that shit out.
You're the main man.
Sort that. Thanks, and then I'll tell you another one who hasn't got a verified tick as well is Harry Shotter. How has he not got a verified tick?
I don't know Harry ain't like, you know what I mean?
Harry, if you're watching or listening,
get a tick.
Get onto Twitter, man. You've got to get that verified tick. There's Andy with his centenary shirt.
Love it! I love that crest! Come on, you rip-roaring, goal-scoring gunners! Sort you out! Got nerves! Come on!
I like it. You can go and follow Colin as well at MutchArsenal, and also Colin has a very, very, very good YouTube channel that you need to subscribe to. Please go over and subscribe to MutchArsenal. And of course, if you want to follow the judge, you can follow the judge at Lee Mark Judges. Mark Judges.
Go on, Lee. I've got my vuvuzela ready for Saturday.
Oh, jeez. And there he goes, just deafened everyone. So you can follow Lee at Lee Mark Judges, and if you want to follow me, you can, of course, come and follow me at Scotty.
Yeah, which is Scotty Boy
Gooner. Come and follow me if you want to. And of course, follow the account as well, the Same Old AFC. Sometimes it's quite good actually, because sometimes I post stuff to the Same Old AFC account that I shouldn't really be posting, like my own feelings and stuff. So, you might get...
air your feelings, mate.
Air my feelings. But I do it on the wrong page, you see. And oh, shit! Right. I have to delete that shit. Quick, switch it back to fucking Scotty Boy Gooner.
Listen, at least we're not going to be seeing any images like Dele Alli's, yeah?
Well, let's hope not. Lee don't send me anything like that. No. The closest we'll get to it is seeing him with the 2 earrings. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure having you all this evening. Our thanks to everyone watching live, of course. Without you lot, we're nothing. We do it for you lot, and we do it because we like to meet up and have a chat about the Arsenal. And I'm glad so many of you enjoy it as well. So for all of us, thank you very much for watching, and until we see you next time, up the Arsenal!
Come, you goon.